Thanks for joining us on the CBN News Channel. I'm Charlene Israel.
And I'm Heather Sells. It is the first official day of winter, and for many parts of the country, there's already been plenty of harsh winter weather. The same can be said for parts of Europe, where snow and ice have grounded air traffic during one of the busiest travel seasons of the year. Ephraim Graham is in the newsroom with this story.
London's Heathrow Airport is the world's busiest international airport, but for the last few days, it's looked more like the Hotel Heathrow. Thousands of stranded passengers, including many Americans, are trying to get home for the holidays. They're forced to sleep there. That's because Arctic conditions have caused flight delays and cancellations since Saturday.
We think we're on a flight for 6:30 in the morning, but that board over there says that flight's cancelled to Germany, and the place you can check up here is closed. There's nobody there, so it's just a lack of information.
Only one of Heathrow's 2 runways is operational, and many areas of the airfield remain unusable.
Right now, our priority is to clear every single stand so that we can use the capacity that's available on the northern runway, and we're getting up towards that in the course of the day.
Back in the U.S., winter weather is soaking, blowing, and suffocating the nation. A storm that forecasters predict will bring snowfall of epic proportions to the Colorado mountains is already blanketing parts of the state. And in Southern California,
I had never seen it like this in years.
What's being called the storm of the decade is bringing record rainfall.
Whenever the windshield wipers are at full blast, I don't really like driving.
A 5th day of rain. Hundreds of homes are evacuated and residents are worried about mudslides. It's not just the West Coast. On Cape Cod, blustery conditions made for tricky trips on the roads. It is a welcomed white Christmas for several parts of the country, but today is only the first day of winter. Ephraim Graham, CBN News.
Thanks, Ephraim. It appears that America's shoppers are spending more this Christmas than even the country's retailers had hoped for. The National Retail Federation had been predicting a 2.3% increase this holiday season, but now they think it will be a full point higher. The hot item this year, jewelry, and the hot way to shop, online.
So far, we've seen for the season to date, online sales were up 13.5%, up from last year. And that's a great number, especially considering that retail sales are only growing by about 3 or 4% year to year.
Retailers are doing all they can to encourage the shopping spirit. At JCPenney's, holiday hours are from 6 a.m. till midnight. At Toys R Us, stores will remain open for 88 consecutive hours leading up to Christmas Day.
This is going to be one of the highest volume retail periods in the history of mankind. And every day from now until Christmas will be massive.
What happens in the next several days will make a big difference. Industry analysts say the last 10 days before Christmas can account for a third of all holiday sales.
The FCC is ready to pass new rules that critics say could drastically change the way Americans use the Internet. The so-called network neutrality rules would create 2 kinds of Internet access, dividing wireless and fixed-line providers. They would also allow wireless companies to block access to certain services and applications. Public interest groups say that that is unfair. The commission is split along party lines, with 2 Democrats supporting the changes proposed by the FCC chairman and 2 Republicans opposing them. Joining us now is Seton Motley. He's president of the group Less Government and editor-in-chief of StopNetRegulation.org. Mr. Motley, there's been a lot of heated debate over whether these new rules will preserve the online world or destroy it. Where do you fall?
Well, it's certainly not. What we're dealing with here is a rule, a solution running around looking for a problem. Why do you need to add anything to preserve the status quo? Net neutrality is, in reality, socialism for the Internet. Everybody gets equal amounts of nothing. What they're trying to say is, they're trying to tell the Internet service providers that they cannot manage their networks. It's almost for all intents and purposes, a Fifth Amendment takings violation. It's telling these people who have spent hundreds of billions of dollars building their infrastructure, who have managed the networks thus far and turned it into a free speech, free market Xanadu, that all of a sudden they need to be regulated, they need to be shut down, and that they can't manage the network in the way that they've done so incredibly successfully over the last decade plus.
Mr. Motley, how do you think that these new rules would affect Internet consumers?
Well, it's going to be worse for consumers because what net neutrality does, it's the little Dutch boy with his finger in the dike of private investment. The real purpose, the people who created net neutrality are called media reformists. What they are is media Marxists, and it's true, they are Marxists. The godfather of the movement is an avowed Marxist and a college professor, please pardon the redundancy. And the intent of net neutrality is to shut down private investment, to have it be replaced by government investment. And that's the ultimate objective of what these rules that are being put in place is going to be.
Now, I know there's talk of court challenges already. Do you think that these rules will stand up in court?
I don't think so. They've already tried to regulate the internet and impose net neutrality under the current regulatory regime that they're trying to rewrite it now. And they were told in April unanimously by the D.C. Circuit Court that they don't have the authority. And not only will this be addressed in court, but the Congressional Review Act should be enacted or put into motion in the House and the Senate. It's a simple up or down vote in the House. You only need 30 signatures from senators in the Senate to get it to the floor. It's not filibusterable, so all you need is 51, not 60. And I really think we should push that through the Congressional Review Act as quickly as possible within the 60 allotted days after a regulatory agency behaves like this.
All right, Seton Motley, we are out of time, but thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
President Obama is expected to sign the Don't Ask, Don't Tell repeal policy on Wednesday. The repeal allows homosexuals to openly serve in the military. It also raises a number of questions about military chaplains. Some retired chaplains have predicted a repeal would prompt an exodus of chaplains from the military. General Douglas Lee is a retired Army chaplain, and he now screens and places chaplains for a group of conservative and reform denominations. On CBN's Newswatch program, he spoke with Lee Webb about what's ahead for Army chaplains.
Chaplains will continue to take care of troops no matter who they are, as well as they've done in the past, present, and they will in the future. And so my concern is not so much will chaplains be available to take care of anybody who comes their way, but the threat is a longer term, probably, in which the opportunity for chaplains or faith groups, not just Christian chaplains from faith groups that believe homosexuality is a sin, will be threatened.
What are you advising your chaplains right now in the field?
Well, first of all, I'm advising them, to remember that Jesus is Lord. That's number one. Number two, I'm advising them to be sure to press on with boldness and care and love and to take care of all those troops that are under their care. They must continue to do that. Next, I'm also encouraging them to just let me know if anything is happening that would thwart their religious liberty or opportunity to preach, teach, and counsel according to their faith group. And I would highlight that, of course, I'm not just talking about Christians. I'm talking about Orthodox Church in America, Orthodox Jews, Roman Catholics, Muslims, those faith groups as well.
You can see General Lee's full interview at our website, cbnnews.com.
Southern Baptists have been especially vocal in their opposition to the repeal. Richard Land, the president of the Southern Baptist Ethics and Religious Liberties Commission, wrote the president a personal letter. It says homosexual behavior cannot be normalized without rejecting God's moral standards. We're saddened that this institution, the military, in which membership is a privilege, not a right, would break from a tradition of high moral conduct. Southern Baptist chaplains account for 448 of the country's 3,000 active duty chaplains. The military says that chaplains' First Amendment rights will be protected under the repeal. In its November 30th review, it notes service members will not be required to change their personal views and religious beliefs. They must, however, continue to respect and coexist with others who may hold different views.
In an era when religious differences lead to war, terror attacks, and persecution, Americans stand out as a people who are remarkably tolerant of each other's religions. New studies have found out some of the reasons. Paul Strand tells us about them.
How can America be a country that is religiously devout, religiously diverse, but also religiously tolerant?
That's what David Campbell and his co-author of American Grace sought to find out in doing two of the largest polls ever of religious believers. He said at a Pew Forum event in Washington, those studies show Americans are the most devout believers of any industrialized nation in the world, and even slightly more devout than Iran, home to some of the world's most radical Muslims. But compared to other countries as devout as the U.S., there's virtually no serious religious bigotry or persecution here. Campbell says it has much to do with how Americans of so many faiths freely intermingle.
Americans over the last generation or so have come to connect with one another across religious lines, such that our data show pretty clearly that almost every American has within their close circle of friends, often within their family, often within their very household, someone of another faith. which in turn breeds an acceptance of other faiths, because these are the people you love. It's really hard to demonize someone, even if they're of another faith, when there's someone who's close to you.
Half of Americans now marry someone of another faith. 1/3 have changed religions. And it turns out more than 80% don't believe their religion is the only path to heaven.
Even when you push them and say, well, does that include, if they're Christian, faiths that are not Christian? It still turns out that a high percentage, overwhelming majorities of Americans say, yes, actually people of other faiths can go to heaven.
This leads to a carefree, live and let live attitude. Of all religions, the research shows Americans are most negative towards Muslims. But right up there are Buddhists and Mormons. Campbell suggests that's because most Americans aren't linked to Muslims, Buddhists, or Mormons. Again, proving the point that intermingling tends to breed tolerance, at least in America. Paul Strand, CBN News, Washington.
If you were sleeping early this morning, and most people were, you missed this sight. But sky gazers who roused themselves from their beds got an early holiday present today, a total eclipse of the moon. The lunar eclipse occurred on the same night as the winter solstice, the longest night of the year. NASA says the last time the two events coincided was in 1638, some 372 years ago. A lunar eclipse takes place when the sun, earth, and moon are all perfectly aligned.
Coming up, the revolution that rocked Romania. 21 years ago, it started with the chant, God exists, and led to the downfall of a tyrant.
God created the heavens and the earth.
These are the greatest stories ever told. Presented by Academy Award winner Charlton Heston.
Thus saith the Lord of Israel, let my people go.
Join Charlton Heston as he travels the sacred lands of the Bible.
I'm going to take you with me on a journey exploring the stories in the Bible and the ancient land where they happened. This is said to be the very garden. This, the very rock where Jesus prayed for strength.
Now the Bible comes to life like never before. Time Life presents Charlton Heston's The Bible.
And Moses cast the tablets from his hands.
Praised by critics, this landmark TV series is now available on digitally remastered DVDs. You'll be inspired by the greatest stories from the Old and New Testaments, enhanced by historic works of art. Get Charlton Heston Presents the Bible on 4 DVDs for $49.99. Call with your credit card and save $10.
And Abraham stretched forth his hand and took the knife to slay his son.
And that's not all. You'll also get a free bonus DVD that takes you behind the scenes. And if you call in the next 10 minutes, we'll ship for free. That's an additional savings of nearly $7.
For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory, forever and ever.
Call now to get Charlton Heston's The Bible on 5 DVDs for just $39.99. Call in the next 10 minutes and we'll ship for free.
Now therefore go, and I will be with thee.
Call 1-800-748-5167 to order Charlton Heston Presents the Bible for $39.99 and receive free shipping when you call in the next 10 minutes with your credit card.
The Christmas season has an added meaning for the people of Romania. It was just 10 days before Christmas in 1989 when the Romanian people rose up against a communist regime and broke the chains of captivity.
As Ephraim Graham reports, the political revolution birthed a spiritual turning point as well.
Communist dictator Nicolae Ceausescu ruled the Eastern European country for more than 20 years.
I remember the feeling of the terror. I remember not having food.
He liked to be called our provider or our father, a god almost.
They tried to tell us that there is no God.
Titus Pop was a child when Ceausescu ruled Romania. But as the son of Christian parents, he endured the pain of the dictator's regime. Teachers punished him at school for his family's faith.
I had a professor in each history class. They put me to stand. Sometimes they beat me, but just a few times.
They also told him he would not be allowed to attend high school and his education would end at 8th grade.
God worked in such a manner that when I finished my 8th grade, the revolution came. Just when I was in the 8th grade.
December 16, 1989. Romanian people packed the central square in Timișoara, crying, "God exists, God exists." Despite military attacks, the cries to God and protest against communism went on for 7 days.
In second day of revolution, in 17 December, I was in Freedom Square.
Traian Orban was a 45-year-old veterinarian when he joined the thousands who filled the square. He stayed to protect innocent children and was shot twice in the leg.
And I'm not angry. I'm happy. I'm happy because we can do something. We demolited something.
Orban has turned memories of those 7 days into the Timișoara Revolution Museum. He says his life actually began after the revolution, because that is when he accepted Christ.
I am 20 years old because my life is changed. It's changed radical.
Today in Freedom Square, you can still see bullet marks in the buildings, but more noticeable are the fountain, fast food restaurants, and people who are free to walk and to worship without fear.
During that week in December '89, it was a cry among the people. Today in Timișoara, tomorrow in the whole country.
Tudor Patan is on a mission to reach his country and all of Eastern Europe with the gospel. He launched the Alpha Omega Ministry in 1994. It's now a 24-hour Christian television network.
Would you say the revolution that started here was not just political, but also spiritual?
The revolution against the communist system in Romania started in this city, in Timișoara. Timișoara is considered by many to be the spiritual capital of the country. It's a symbol of the revolution, a symbol of freedom.
Freedom is spreading. The revolution allowed Titus Pop to finish high school and to go on to college. He's now a pastor, reaching out to Romania's once forgotten gypsy population.
And I'm very pleased that God called me here. Where is grace?
Ephraim Graham, CBN News, Romania.
Up next, meet the double agent who once served with Iran's Revolutionary Guard. His shocking revelations after this.
What makes the miracles of Jesus even more miraculous? Standing where they happened, in Israel. Come explore Jerusalem, where Jesus opened blind eyes. Visit the hills of Galilee, where Jesus fed the multitude. Stroll through Capernaum, where Jesus lived and taught and healed. To learn more about standing where it all happened in Israel, visit www.goisrael.com. Come visit Israel.
Endless pools are an incredible alternative to traditional pools, making it easy and inexpensive to swim at home. Call our toll-free number or visit our website. A free idea kit and DVD will be sent to your home so you can discover all the benefits of owning your own pool. Compared to traditional pools, endless pools are simple to install, easy to maintain, and economical to run. Our precision-engineered pools enable you to swim or exercise against a smooth current that adjusts to any speed and ability. Endless pools are perfect for year-round health and fitness, relaxation, and family fun. Our free idea kit and DVD will show you how easy it is for the whole family to enjoy a pool right in your backyard or home. An endless pool or an endless pool swim spa can become a showplace for your home. Call our toll-free number or visit the website to find out more about endless pools. The free idea kit will show you just how easy it is to be able to swim at home.
What makes the miracles of Jesus even more miraculous? Standing where they happened, in Israel. Come sail the Sea of Galilee, where Jesus calmed a raging storm. Experience Jerusalem, where Jesus restored a paralyzed man. Explore Capernaum, where Jesus spoke a centurion servant into health. To learn more about standing where it all happened, in Israel, visit goisrael.com. Come visit Israel.
Iran's Revolutionary Guards protect one of the world's most dangerous regimes. Over the past 30 years, their ranks have been nearly impossible to penetrate.
But Eric Stakelbeck sat down recently with one man who did exactly that. working undercover for the CIA.
Iran's leaders declare the Islamic Messiah, or Mahdi, will soon return to stamp out unbelievers. They claim that Israel will be wiped off the map and that America's days are numbered. And according to one former regime insider, they truly believe it.
This day for them is the ultimate day in Islam. It's the day of justice in their views.
Reza Khalili once served in Iran's Revolutionary Guards, the most powerful and influential arm of the Iranian regime. We've disguised his voice and appearance for his safety.
1/3 of the world population has to die due to nuclear wars, another 1/3 due to hunger and chaos and havoc. And then Imam Mahdi, the Shiites' 12 Imam, will reappear, kill the rest of the infidels, and raise the flag of Islam in all corners of the world.
The Guards began shortly after the 1979 Iranian Revolution to protect Iran's new Islamic State. Today, it is a fearsome military force with ground, air, and naval capabilities. They answer only to Iran's supreme leader, and their activities range from domestic spying to international terrorism. They even have a hand in Iran's economy.
The principles of jihad, of martyrdom, of killing the Christians and Jews, of the caliphate, of Sharia, were these drilled in on a regular basis?
The ideology of martyrdom and ending up in heaven alongside Prophet Muhammad and Imam Ali was the main focus of the clerics. You have to die for the glorification of Allah.
When the Iranian Revolution hit, he saw an opportunity for democracy after years of internal repression under the Shah. The Ayatollah Khomeini had promised freedom and openness.
The deceit was so strong that the Iranians in millions bought it, and so did I.
After joining the Revolutionary Guards, Reza soon discovered just how wrong he was.
I saw a group of teenage girls tortured, taken to the courtyard and executed. I talked to my best friend who told me that they raped his little sister in front of him just to bring pain to him.
During a visit to the U.S., he contacted the CIA. Soon he was back in Iran, spying for America. He details his covert work against the Iranian regime in his new book, A Time to Betray. In it, he reveals how Iran uses mosques in the U.S. and Europe to plot and finance terrorism.
It's used as recruitment centers, backdoor meetings, transfers of arms and cash, and putting together terrorist activities, and I was involved in some of their meetings.
He played the double game for years, feeding inside information to the CIA. At the same time, he became frustrated with America's efforts to engage the Iranian regime in dialogue.
The reason for the failure of every American administration is that they do not understand the ideology. It's taken right out of the Quran. I mean, it says in Quran that you kill the non-believers until there are no more non-believers on earth.
That ideology drove the Revolutionary Guards to create the terror group Hezbollah in Lebanon and engineer the 1983 U.S. Marine barracks bombing in Beirut. Their new mission is helping Iran to acquire nuclear weapons. Reza says they're close.
Everything is in place, and the only part missing is for them to become a nuclear-powered state. Then they're going to attack Israel. They're going to attack oil fields in the Persian Gulf and European capitals. Millions are going to die. There's going to be a total global breakdown in the economy.
So they will use those nuclear weapons against Israel and against European capitals.
I have no doubt about it that they'll bring that about. They're going to arm Hezbollah, they're going to arm Hamas, they're going to arm Islamic Jihad, Syria.
He says the only solution is for America to overthrow the regime.
You attack the guards, the nuclear facilities, and announce to the Iranian people that we're going to support you, come out and do what you wish to do with this regime. The regime will collapse much faster than anybody thinks.
It's just one of many revelations he hopes will reach America's leadership before it's too late. Eric Stakelbeck, CBN News, Washington.
It's fascinating even to see within this show God bringing down the Romanian regime and then allowing for right now this Iranian regime to continue.
Truly amazing.
We'll be right back.
Millions of women worldwide love Bare Minerals.
This is smooth, it's nice, and it covers. I like that.
Only Bare Minerals looks like beautiful bare skin, while it covers whatever you want it to. And now you can get our latest kit with our totally new, totally spill-proof Click Lock Go foundation. For over 75% off retail, our new kit comes with Bare Minerals foundation in the shade that's just right for you. Warmth for a healthy glow. Mineral Veil, the ultimate finishing touch, and Bare Minerals Flawless Application Brush. Call now and get 3 full-size gifts worth $57.95 free. Purchased separately, you'd spend over $120. Our original Get Started kit was a great deal at 2 payments of $29.99. But now you can get all this for just 1 payment of $29.99. Save over $90 and get a 30-day money-back guarantee.
Call 1-800-376-4174. Ask how you can receive this handy compact. Call 1-800-376-4174 now.
It's impossible to close an open can with a pop top. Open cans spill in the fridge. What a mess. And open cans lose their fizz. What a waste. Introducing Bottle Top. It turns your can into a bottle with the snap of a cap. Open metal cans can't travel. What a waste. Bottle Top turns your can into a bottle that's perfectly portable. You can't do this with an open can. Bottle Top lets any soda keep its carbonation. Look, bugs are gross, but Bottle Top protects your drink from insects. When you're done drinking, just pop it off. Rinse under hot water and reuse. Bottle Top keeps drinks from spilling. Now get 6 colored bottle tops for just $10. Call now and get 6 more. Plus, we'll send you the can top popper. Just pay separate shipping and handling. You get 12 amazing bottle tops, plus the can top popper, all for just $10.
Call 1-800-377-9176. But hurry, call now. We're giving away a bonus 6 more bottle tops and the can top popper with today's orders. That's 1-800-377-9176. Call now.
Finally this morning, it is a rare event that brings out the 92-year-old Billy Graham these days.
But a visit by former President George W. Bush Monday was just such an occasion. Bush and wife Laura had lunch with Graham and his son Franklin before the Bushes sat down in the Billy Graham Library to sign copies of their books. Some in the crowd waited many hours in line for the event because they so admire both Bush and the world-famous evangelist.
I love him and would have gone anywhere to see him.
And he was an awesome president. Anytime you get to meet a former president, you know, and First Lady too, that's just good as it gets.
And he and Billy have been such good friends for such a long period of time. And so, and I think this is very appropriate for them to have the opportunity to come here and go through the tour of the library.
92, he's kind of like that that Energizer bunny. He just keeps going. He doesn't slow down. No, he's just got amazing energy. He really does.
It just brought tears to my eyes immediately. He's just such a strong Christian man.
The Billy Graham Library is in West Charlotte, North Carolina, not far from our studios.
Excellent. Well, God bless Presidents Bush and his wife and
Billy Graham for being the Energizer Bunny at 92.
I love it. That's all for this hour of the News Channel. You can see information on the stories you've seen here at cbnnews.com.
And you can also stay up to date with CBN through Facebook. Have a great day.
I'm Gary Haven, founder and CEO of Curves. I was fortunate to have read The Secret Kingdom before we founded Curves. Pat taught me that there were kingdom laws that were as valid as the laws of gravity. I was really excited to hear that Pat had put the principles on a series of DVDs.
I'm Pat Robertson. In Volume 2 of the DVDs on The Secret Kingdom, I'll teach you the secrets of greatness, responsibility, unity, and perseverance. The principles of the Secret Kingdom worked in Gary's life, and they can bring you success as well.
The Secret Kingdom played a big part in the success of Curves. And this year, that company, along with all the franchisees, is a $2 billion a year company. And that's a miracle.
Finding video on CBN.com just got easier. We've taken all our video, the 700 Club, news, testimonies, teachings, plus our 24/7 channels, and put them in one convenient location, CBN TV. Watch what you want, when you want. It's all simple to find, and now easier than ever to email a story to a friend. CBN TV on CBN.com.